Set for kickoff at Bettendorf's Tuvel Stadium. You are watching TCI Cable, Family Ties Productions, TCI Channel 2. Family Ties Productions, Jess Medina. I am Dan Burch from Channel 8, News Channel 8, and KJOC, giving you the call to the Clinton River Kings as they kick off to the Bettendorf Bulldogs in their home black on their home turf. Deep to receive Eisenlauer, and that's a touchback, my friends. Rick Eisenlauer seems like he's played for Merv Hobenick and the Bulldogs about 15 years now. Hobenick and the five-time state champion Bettendorf Bulldogs, and they're always Hawkeye-like uniforms, Bettendorf Bulldogs. In fact, watch Tyler Tissue as he jogs in there, the little scrappy running back in the number 6. If that isn't shades of Timmy DeWhite, I don't know what is. Your quarterback, Mike Miller, coming up to the line. He breaks the Bulldogs. Kevin Frecking, one of the many fine assistant coaches the Bulldogs have, told me their defense will be tough this year. He works with them, and he expects a big Bulldog defensive battle. They give it to now Timmy DeWhite. Tyler Tissue, he is wrestled down for about no game. Nice tackle there by the Clinton River Kings. And if I call them Lumber Kings, it's because we're just getting off baseball season. In fact, the Lumber Kings in the playoffs versus the Bandits as we speak. They get set for Midwest League action. Clinton will travel to North Scott next week, and Bettendorf will have Central. So they would like to both get the MAC underway, the Mississippi Athletic Conference, with a W. The Bulldogs, as we said, the good history. Merv Hobenick on about his 38th year at the school, a five-time state champ. Miller will hand off to the first back through. That is the fullback, Willie Shorg, I believe it was, number 41 it is. Picks up a couple yards. So the Bulldogs kind of grinding that out early, not with their great defense firing off the ball. That big lineman in the picture, Chris Willie, 62, number 72 rather. He's 6'6", 270. You can see he is a biggin'. As Keith Jackson say, a little measurement time out here by the officials. They get the clock going. Running in the play for the Bulldogs is Jake Thomas, number 8. He gives it to Mike Miller, the 6 foot, 175 senior quarterback. And he'll have receivers wide. Brad Munoz, one of them, coming out wide right. You see a receiver at the top of your screen. Eisenlauer. Clinton kind of with a four-man front, dropping back. And I know it's a passing situation. Miller's toss complete out there, too. It is Eisenlauer, I believe, as he's tackled out of bounds. Rick Eisenlauer, good basketball player as well, one of the better athletes for the Bulldogs. And that'll be a first down Bettendorf. So opening drive, nicely done. Family Ties Productions, of course, bringing you the game on TCI Cable Channel 2. And you can pick up copies of this for all you Bulldog parents and River King parents. There's the first back through. Shorg picks up about 5 yards. That's a good first down carry for the Bulldogs, getting off the ball, nicely done. Mike Frells, another offensive lineman. He's up there up front, number 66. Nice job from Ben Weiss. Ryan Annell, and the Annell family, a name for Bettendorf fans, been around for a while. They break the huddle. They're up to the line of scrimmage. We'll call it about 2nd and 4. They go the other way. It's Tissue this time. Nicely done, buried by 3 Clinton River Kings, including Brad Miller, the big man, was there to pretty much knock the focus out of Tissue and the camera there for a minute. I'll have to get on Jess, my man, about that. His nephew doing a nice job running the camera, breaking him in, as we like to say. TCI bringing you games from both the MAC and the Western Big Six. Check your local listings for when these games will air, the Friday, the Thursday, and the Saturday games. Dropping back to pass Miller. Nice block by the big man upside. He lofts one. And near maybe the official downfield, and that's about it. So bring up a third down situation. Opening night in the MAC, of course, a big goings-on at Brady Street Stadium. A doubleheader to break in the AstroTurf. West already thumped earlier today by Burlington in the first contest. Burlington can throw the ball. Look for the Greyhounds this year as the Bulldogs will take a timeout. And also Assumption has the good running game and defense, solid defense. We'll take a break with Family Ties Productions, TCI Cable Channel 2. Or we'll stay here. We come right to action. The Bulldogs are going to punt. Nice snap. He gets it away. Not much of a rush by Clinton. So Clinton bends but doesn't break. Return man getting it upfield is number 22, Matt Stasuski. And he's knocked out of bounds. Look at big 72 bearing 54, and they're going to flag him. 72 is Tom Howe for Clinton, and he gave a good sack to Ryan Annell, the Annell I mentioned earlier. So getting a little aggressive, but there will be a flag. Penalty on that play. We'll move the ball. 1st and 10. Just across the 45. They'll spot it. So we'll have Clinton come out on offense. They're quarterback by Paul Horner. Staszewski, I should say, one of their main runners. Kroyman, a receiver. And they knock it off. They'll be against the Bulldogs. So as I said, I'll put it right about across the 45, going the other way. Coach Cox has done a nice job rebuilding Clinton. They were down for a few years. He got them back in the MAC race. In fact, it used to be just Bettendorf and Central, and it was Bettendorf and Assumption. In the last few years, Muscatine has jumped up, Burlington has jumped up, Clinton has jumped up. It's been and in the same token, the Davenport schools have kind of slid out of competition, aside from Assumption, the private school, as we look at Clinton's first play from scrimmage. And it's a hand up, straight up the gut, and good defense. I told you, the coaching staff likes that defense. The Bulldogs, Ben Weiss on it. Some of the same names we named before. Chris Herrera, big guy up front. You see number 91 on your screen, Joe Gretewald. So the Bulldog defense is predicted, but then again, it's by one of their coaches. Coach Frecking told me, look out for my guys, I'm killers. Of course, Merv Hobenick with that great assistant staff, Randy Scott, Tom Freeman, to name a few, have been there. And everybody knows they're pretty much like having 3 head coaches when you got guys with that veteran experience and the state championship and appearances and wins under your belt. Paul Horner is the quarterback for Clinton. He tries to go inside with a little option. Good job of stuffing it in by the Bulldogs, but good job by Horner to spin on in and get some positive yardage, get it up near the 50-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and a long, we'll call it 6. So Horner carries the ball. Breaking from the Clinton huddle. Johannes Egbers in the backfield at the fullback position behind Horner. And that's who they're going to give to on a draw, and he's picks up a couple of yards, but it's defensed nicely by the Bulldogs. Number 43 was one of the Bettendorf players involved on the hit. Alex Briscoe. Now bring up 4th down situation, and Clinton will probably punt it away, and that's what they're going to elect to do. Back to receive for the Bulldogs will be Rick Eisenlauer. I told you he does a lot. It looks like Stremlow will be doing the punting. That's a name. Remember Ryan Stremlow up in the Clinton area is one of the better athletes. Butch is back deep to punt. Look at that drop 15, and Bettendorf came after it. Nice punt, though. He gets it away. Eisenlauer will field it and bobble it at his 5 and smother by the Clinton return team. Nice job there, getting down there quickly. Number 22 was one of them, and that was Matt Staszewski, their running back. Eisenlauer, you see him patting himself on the head. A rookie mistake, we'll call it, although I said he's been around on all the varsity sports for a while, not pleased with himself. So here come the Bulldogs again. Miller is their quarterback. Millen, I should say, excuse me. No, it is Miller. Mike Miller is the quarterback, trotting on out there. Tissue is one of his running backs. From his own 5, deep in their own territory, scoreless game, first quarter. Gives it to first back through, Schrog, and he gets maybe a yard. Willie Shorg, your ball carrier. 5'8", 165, not a big guy, but he'll handle the fullback duties. Tissue, a short guy as well, 5'7", 175. But like I said, Timmy DeWhite, kind of looking guy with the number 6 very much. So kind of put together there, but not a lot of beef in that Bettendorf backfield. They've got the big guys up front, and that's where it matters most. They break out of the huddle. Eisenlauer, 26, comes wide to the near side. Tight formation the rest of the way around. Tyler's from about the 2. They snap at the 10. They give it to Tyler Tissue. Nice job of running through that original arm tackle and driving some people back for some positive yardage pickup. It'll bring up a 3rd, and it looks like maybe about a 4-yard, 3rd and 4 3rd and 4 type of situation. Tackle on the play by a few Clinton River Kings. And it's Stazutsky again getting some help from Jacob Seath. 3rd and 4. You can hear our PA announcer at Tuvell Stadium in the background as he comes up to the line of scrimmage. Miller under center. 3rd and 4. They go back to Tissue the other way. Huge hole right up the middle. He's got a first down and a little bit more. Nice job by the Bettendorf Bulldogs. You saw that. Nicely done. He cut it back. Hand off on the left side, working the left side of the line, just straight up the middle. And the big guy's getting it done up front. The Chris Willie we named earlier. I'll name him a lot because he's a big fella up front, 6'6", 270. Frells is another big man right next to him. So good call by Freeman, Hobenick, Randy Scott, the whole Bettendorf staff. Here comes everybody coming from Clinton. Tissue again. Well, they figured it's been working with Tissue twice in a row, and they knew it was coming again. It's still a good job in there by the Bettendorf offense, just kind of holding a stalemate, and Tissue just lowering his head and getting a yard. First quarter action, we are scoreless. TCI Cable Channel 2 is your situation. It's the Bettendorf Bulldogs hosting the Clinton River Kings of the MAC Conference, or should I say the Mississippi Athletic Conference, the MAC, Week 1. Miller up to the line. Eisenhower split wide left, out of the eye. They give it to Tissue again. Why not? Nice block and a good job of driving. Starting to look more and more up to White, not just at number 6. And we saw him run here at Tuvell Stadium when he played for Iowa City. And Tissue's helped up by double 6, Frells. Patting him on the back there. You see Miller, the quarterback. And that's a nice pickup, about 9 yards. 7, they'll call it 3rd and 3. As I said, you can hear the Tuvell play-by-play, and it's going to be a timeout. Bulldogs, and we'll take one as well on TCI Cable Channel 2, Family Ties Productions. TCI Cable Channel 2, Family Ties Productions, MAC football. Bettendorf out of the shotgun. Miller's going to keep it. A little quarterback draw and pick up the first down on 3rd and 3. Another nice call. But you know what makes them all nice calls? It doesn't matter if Bettendorf's handing off to Tyler Tissue or Miller's doing a quarterback draw. The big guys up, you see 51 up there jogging. The big guys up front, Jim Purcell. Blowing open the holes up the middle. Running in the play is Jake Thomas for the Bulldogs. Gives it to Miller. Eisenhower go wide left. And trotting this way, Brad Munoz wide right. So double split end action. Oh, a high snap nicely done by Miller. And a pitch to Tyler Tissue, who does a good job of getting back to the line of scrimmage. Turned in nicely by the Clinton defender you saw. Kind of turned it in. Not sure who was that at the defensive end. The tackle was credited, I think, to Tom Howe, but it was a nice job by the Clinton defensive end on the right side, and we'll try to get his name who turned that play in. And a good job by Miller just turning that into a play with the high snap. One thing about high school shotgun, you can only get so many repetitions. It's hard enough to find guys in the pros who can do it, but they're doing a good job there. Good snap. Miller's pass incomplete. Eisenhower was your intended receiver. Well, Bettendorf offense doing a few pops, really ripping up the Clinton River Kings defense, but moving the ball. And when Clinton had it, Bettendorf's defense was, as predicted, pretty tough on them. Here comes Munoz right again. Eisenhower, top of your screen. Center breaking out. I believe that's Nick Lefson at center. I'll give you the correct read on that. Miller looking again. This time he's looking to the right side. And that is incomplete. It was caught by Munoz, but they're saying he was out of bounds. So we're going to run in, I think it's the punt team. 4th and 8. And we should see Bettendorf getting ready to kick this one away. Now Miller's in there. They're going to go for it. Unless Miller will handle the punting. There you go. I saw him in there. He's a punter as well, so Bettendorf will punt it away. Never know with a QB at quarterback, though. Never know when they might call for a fake. The snap is good. Miller gets away under a little heat. Good pressure there, and a nice kick. Well, there it is. And it's going to stay in. Oh, they're going to call it a touchback. Good hustle by Tyler Tissue. I thought he was going to keep that one in. What a punt that would have been by Miller. It's scoreless. First quarter action. MAC football on TCI Cable Channel 2. Bulldogs hosting Clinton on the opening week. As we said, the big game, receiving a lot of the publicity, naturally so, with the AstroTurf at Brady Street Stadium. Ended up turning into a doubleheader. Burlington already beating West, that game already done. And going on, well, not even started yet. A little delay there with all the ceremonial stuff. Is the North Assumption contest. See if Andy Bullock can get North's fortunes turned around. Also wishing Skip and the boys at Central some luck this year. Coach Cox giving the pitch back. And once again, there's that Bettendorf defense just turning it in. Number 7 was in on that play. That's Jordan Tissue. Must be Tyler's younger brother. Tyler a senior, Jordan a junior. They just turned that pitch back in. I think Kroyman was the ball carrier and dusted it away. Up to the line of scrimmage comes Clinton. From the 20. 2nd and 10. No gain on that one. And Horner hands up off the middle, and looks like it may have been a loose ball for a moment the way Bettendorf came flying in. You like to see that, though, a whole host of black jerseys just flying to the ball. Want to remind everybody you can pick up the Western Big Six and MAC games on TCI Cable, the Quad City area, TCI Channel 2, Family Ties Productions. Clinton back up to the line of scrimmage. It's about 3rd and 9. Quarterback is Paul Horner. He's under center. Deep split backfield. Look at how they're staggered. Ball fake, a little play action. Horner looking downfield and thrown out of bounds, incomplete. Nice play by 43 on defense. The intended receiver was Johannes Egbers. And on defense for the Bulldogs was Brabisco. Bribiesco, I guess is how you say it as I listen to the PA announcer. Once again, opening night, so both clubs come in. Of course, 0-0 records. Clinton's theory defensively has kind of been bend, not break, while Bettendorf's just come at you full blow, punting from about his own 1-yard line. Clinton gets away. Another nice rush by Bettendorf from that backside. Taking on the return. And nicely done. Breaks about 2-3 tackles. Wrestled down. The return man was number 31 for Bettendorf. Dave Yoder. That's another familiar name from Bettendorf. And number 56 did a nice job. Brian Jones, the junior, for Clinton, wrestling him down after he shook the first few people in front of him. So Bulldogs get it back in a nice return. Beautiful territory. Taken over. Here come the Bulldogs. You see Tissue. The eye back. Well, eventually we'll see him. Eisenhower and the boys break out of there. And there's a flag. Delay a game. Bulldogs. So much for the nice field position. Miller's the quarterback, the punter. Mike Miller, 6 foot, 175-pound senior. Where's number 5? There's Eisenhower. He'll jog right. Good all-around athlete, a senior as well, 6'3", 180. He'll jog. You see him here at the bottom of your screen. First back through, the fullback on the carry, Shorg. I think it's positive yardage. Number 86, Tom Kearns, a junior, 6'5", 190, playing the defensive end linebacker position for Coach Cox and Clinton. Up with the tackle. Eisenhower once again to the bottom of your screen, wide right. Under center goes Miller. Shorg behind him. Oh, it's Miller going up top to throw, and it is Eisenhower caught at the 10, knocked out of bounds at about the 4. He's inside the 5-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. So I told you Eisenhower can be the man on the coverage for Clinton, can be a deep receiver. They're going to give him a really good spot there. Robbie Worrells, just a sophomore. So the senior combination of Miller and Eisenhower kind of picking on the sophomore, but he did a nice job of recovering and knock him out of bounds. Eisenhower go wide right again. That's why you keep an eye on him. You know, every high school team has that receiver. A beautiful spot. Probably hand off to just Short or Tissue here and just punch it on in, and it will be Tissue. And he's dropped about the 5. I'm sorry, I thought they were on the goal line. They're on about the 6-yard line was where it was spot. Nice stick there on the Bettendorf guy. Just lifted up a little Tyler Tissue and threw him down, pun intended, sorry, like a tissue. Miller huddling up the Bulldogs. 85 runs it in. Nick Wallers. He's a junior, and Nick Walters bringing in the play. It's still Shorg, followed behind by Tissue. Miller under center there. Spotted about the 3-yard line now. They go back to Tissue, same spot, and look at that big Bulldog offensive line. Shorg with them, too, coming up there and just pushing them in. Nice job. Jim Purcell, number 51. I think I saw Frells over there, 66. And that's what you like when you get that drive, the Hogs up front, so to speak, pushing them back. It's 6-0 Bulldogs. And I'll tell you what, the way their defenses look so far, maybe that'll be all they need. 6-0 in the first quarter here on TCI Cable Channel 2. Dan Burrits bringing you the MAC opener. Bettendorf and Clinton. Going for the PAT. Your holder is John Pecora. And the kick is up. There's a flag. Hold on. It's good right now. They make it 7-zip. We'll see what happens. Looks like it's going to be on Clinton because they can easily, and that's what they do. The flag is on Clinton. Decline. 7-0 Bulldogs leading at Tuvell Stadium. First quarter action. We'll be back on TCI Cable Channel 2. Oh, we'll see. Keep it here. Kevin Frecking, that was the coach I was talking about, who easily told me his defense is going to be one of the best in the MAC. We'll find out if his prediction was correct. Yelling at a few people there. Maybe they're short a guy. And they are. On special teams, that was Nick Walters running out there a little late. Coaches always love that. But, you know, opening night, first Friday of the year, and you're going to see that on occasion. Telling them, stay in your lanes. It's funny, it's so much basic fundamentals, but get some hyped-up high school kid playing for the first time on a Friday night. He's, slapping the head. That's actually keeping a guy awake, saying keep your head on. A lot of people not anymore get, worked up about that, but it was funny. You could see him just pointing forward, saying stay in your lanes. And every time, I'll tell you what, even in the NFL, when you watch a kick return, it's always guys getting out of their lanes. It only takes one little block, and they're gone. Kicking off is Justin Langen for Merv Hobbinick's Bulldogs, who have the 7-0 lead. He boots it. Tissue scored just moments ago. Nice kick, fielded, and it's going to be another touchback. It was fielded right at the goal line. He stepped back, and we're going to bring it out. Clinton has the ball, and they trail 7-0 in this one. Interesting to see how the Quad City area shapes up. I said Assumption will probably be up there. Pleasant Valley last few years has been strong. Bettendorf seems like they have another strong team. Burlington I saw earlier tonight looking tough against Davenport West. And West, they still have a lot of people back. I was kind of surprised that Burlington beat up on West the day they did. Horner optioning, tucking it away and getting some nice yardage, 4 or 5 yards up the right side on the left defensive end. So Horner had the carry, and it was T.J. Stouffer on the stick for Bettendorf. Shot of the goalpost, Jess. I'm going to have to get on your nephew here. Jess Medina and Family Ties Productions has been nice enough to let myself, Cy Robinson, Jim Smith, Sanders, various over the years bring you games, high school games around here. And it's always good to get out and see the talent in the area. Horner will give, and nicely done. Look at that, 4-5 Bulldogs. Good job by Clinton driving, but that's just good gang tackling and winning at the line of scrimmage. Bry Briscoe up there again. I think it's Bree Biesco, is it? Bree Biesco. I've got to get this right. Jess with me. We'll throw Jess on headsets here later since he's not running camera. He's kind of recovering. Little injury. And since Cy Robinson is not with me tonight, I've worked so many games with Cy for Family Ties Productions and TCI Cable. And we'll try to get Jess on here. Let's see. We'll get his color commentary a debut. It's not soccer, though, Jess. Football, not the foosball. And that's going to be the quarter. 7-0. We'll switch sides. We'll have Jess on the microphone. We'll come back. The Bulldogs lead it after a quarter of play, 7-0 over Clinton on TCI Cable Channel 2.
Up in that area, we show Mac and back in Three Rivers Athletic Complex.
Three Rivers. Back at Tuvell Stadium in Bettendorf, the Bulldogs lead after a quarter of play over Clinton, week 1 of the MAC, Mississippi Athletic Conference. Bettendorf up 7-0. Jess Medina and Family Ties Productions, along with TCI Cable Channel 2, bringing you the game. I'm Dan Burrich. Jess on headsets. We'll talk to him in a minute. Clinton with it. 3rd and about 4. And Horner tries to tuck it, and once again, that's that big Bulldog defense. Jordan Tissue's in there with a host of people. Briesco. Am I saying that right, Jess?
Yes, Briesco.
Oh, easy, buddy. He says he doesn't have much of a voice, and he's booming on me. Booming. Jess Medina usually runs the camera. His nephew handling it today. I said, we'll just say recovering from an injury. And leave it at that. 4th down. Clinton will punt.
Number 3 is going to be punting.
Butch Stremlow back there. As I mentioned, Ryan Stremlow, that's a name. You know, you get used to all these high schools. Certain names just pop up. In fact, just I'm looking at the sophomore coaching staff. I see Kevin Skillett, a former UT in Iowa, stand out, helping out the Bulldogs. Uh-oh, it's bobbled. Dave Yoder having trouble running it down, but he gets back up there. Nice!
Oh.
Running one-arm tackle. That's Kurt Miller, big kid, 6'2", 225, just wrestling him down.
Grabbed him by one arm and tried to turn him around. Nice tackle. Stayed with it. Big guy was able to stay right with him.
Yeah, no problem. And it wrestled him down. So here come the Bulldogs again. They lead 7-0. The Bulldog defense has looked tough. Yeah, they shutting them down each and every time. Eisenhower,
one of the premier receivers in the MAC last year. Probably expected to be again this year if they get the ball to him.
He already caught that big pass, and there's Tissue off the right side. Nice job there. Picks up about 8 yards on the first down play off the right side. And once again, the key to this one, the Bulldog offensive line getting off the ball and moving back the River Kings. So Tissue looks like maybe their go-to guy. Solid fullback and Shorg in front of him. More importantly, the solid offensive line. Purcell, Annell, Frells, Wiley. Some of the names up front.
Looks like we might have an injury here. Number 66.
And that was Frells, I mentioned earlier. Mike's an active player on both sides of the ball.
Number 64 is coming in for him.
And replacing him will be Mike Kelly. And Eisenhower comes deep to the bottom of your screen. I said I had that first big reception from Mike Miller to get him down on the goal line, and then they hand it off to Tissue a couple times, and he put it in, and that's where we sit. 7-0. We're in the second quarter now. And that's Shorg, the first back through. Nice quick feet. You saw him just jump on over behind big Chris Willie, burying a guy back there. I'll tell you what, number 70, Brad Miller, is going to have his hands full with Willie today on that right side.
I'll tell you what, I like the way Shorg runs the ball. He doesn't appear to have real great speed like a Lee Russell, but he seems to be able to get you that yardage that you need.
Lee Russell, of course, the stand-up and the starting fullback at Assumption since the sophomore year. And they're expecting a big season from Lee over in the Knights. Coach Kaz, but we've got Coach Merv Hobenick and the Bulldogs on the move. Miller, maybe on the move a little too quickly there as the flags come flying.
Well, I want to mention to our new fans, when we mentioned some of the, we are more familiar with the teams from the Quad Cities, so we're not really sliding anybody from Clinton when we say somebody's premier runner or catcher. It's just that we have been watching Quad City football for 4 years, and this is all we generally get to see is the Quad City teams.
Well, we're not only going to give you the River Kings, but of course just Fulton Steamers, Riverdale Rams, hitting a lot of the Three Rivers Conference.
Morrison Mustangs, Fulton Steamers.
The Morrison Mustangs are playing tonight. Huge game in Rock Ridge. They moved up in the top 10 in the rankings, Morrison did. Harris Tissue fighting for extra yardage. Nice positive play there.
Also want to mention the Erie and Cardinals.
Erie Cardinals, right.
And Prophetstown.
P-Towners. No, let me think of Prophetstown for a minute. Oh, you would try and throw that
We're
at me.
stumped. We're stumped with Prophetstown.
I'll get it eventually. Now that very familiar with the Three Rivers Conference. Oh, it's funny. You do these high school games, be it, talking about them on KJAC Radio where I work or over at Channel 8 on the Blitz, their Friday night show, or doing these games for TCI and Jessa. You get to know the Olympic Conference and the Three Rivers and the Lincoln Trail and, the MAC, most definitely, Western Big Six. And You know, the coaching. Oh, nice field by Miller on a short snap.
Oh.
He is blasted big time, Jess.
Number 67
Coming
just
from
made
the
a
other
move.
side, Jeff Baker. What a big hit. Nice play, as I said, by Miller. Actually, he's looking at the center saying, come on,
He was-
give me the ball. And now 53, the center.
I bet.
Nick Levson is pulling like we saw Eisenhower do earlier.
Yeah, he's going to give him a talking to.
Slap himself in the head. Running in the play for the Bulldogs. Number 85, Nick Walters. We've seen him in a few times. Brings it in, hands it to Miller. Third and 22 out of the shotgun. Miller looking. I bet you that's Eisenhower he's lofting it up to. Yeah. Oh, nice try there, but good defense as well by Clinton, who knocked it out. So it'll bring up 4th down and 22, and I imagine they will be punting. And Miller handles the punting choice. So Clinton's defense hanging in there. Not playing poorly, not getting much done on offense. Bettendorf leads 7-0 here in the second quarter on TCI Cable Channel 2.
Well, Miller's just been a little bit off with his passes so far, but maybe his timing will get a little better as the game goes on.
Well, there's a reason. Not a lot of high school teams pass. It takes a lot more time and timing.
I guess that's one of the differences in the Western Big Six. It's about 90% run.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. You'll see it more. Like I said, Burlington earlier tonight looked impressive. We'll talk more about that later. It's not a bad punt up around the 30. Tyler Tissue will down it. So the Bettendorf D will come out, and I told you they've been looking impressive and getting after you, and the coaching staff likes it. As the refs get ready to spot this one. Want to say, Jess, I mentioned KJOC Sports Radio, AM 1170 on your dial, carrying all the MAC Thursday and Saturday games. And on Friday, we kind of do like you do, Jess. We do an occasional MAC, an occasional Western Big Six, and try and mix it up. And we've got a good schedule. I think it's 22 games going on.
You must be doing a lot of Thursday games.
You got it, brother. Thursday and Saturday. Iowa State doesn't play Saturday night, do they? The handoff. And that's probably one of the best first down pickups we've seen from Clinton.
I didn't see the second person there, but number 7, Jordan Tissue, made the tackle for the Bulldogs.
I think it was Robbie Worrells,
Okay.
on the carry. No, I'm talking about Clinton.
Oh, okay.
now. Doug Kroyman, Matt Stazuski. That's some of your running backs. Kroyman is 23. 6 foot, but only 155. He's kind of a lean senior running back. Kroyman goes wide left. And it is Worrells lined up behind Stazuski. Your quarterback is Paul Horner. Fake the first back through, open in the flat. Oh, he's got to catch that ball. That's Brandon Connell. Or Connell, rather. Brandon Connell. He's got to come up with that one.
Wide open, right to him. Hit him right on the. Hit him where you shouldn't hit him.
Well, that was
right
nice.
on the hands.
Yeah, right. I'm in a bad spot, as all smart aleck coaches like to say in practice. Horner made a nice play fake. It was good play action, just out there pop it. And that's one of those things you got to complete if you want to get it going. Clinton River Kings with their Chicago Bears style like helmets, white jerseys. And I'll say they line up there. In motion is Stazuski coming this way. Actually, that's number 32.
Trips. They had trips.
And a lot of heat coming from that backside. Nyman.
Oh,
The big D lineman, 76, couldn't come up with it. Just that was number 91, though. Applying pressure really made that play.
Well, 91 is Joe Greenewalt, and 76, who almost caught it, was Chris Herrera.
And that's the guy. Look at him. He
Oh,
believe it.
he was doing a juggling act there for a minute.
A lineman's dream. Obviously,
Though
one of the captains there as he addresses the issue with the referee. I think they're going to see him decline it here.
Probably a holding penalty.
Yeah. They're going to decline it and try and get the ball back.
Oh, was that a low block?
You know what? Seriously, I wasn't looking at the referee. I looked
did.
down at my.
Did like this.
Yeah.
I think that maybe is a block below the waist.
Needless to say, it's declined. And
I just want to tell you people who are watching this game, get your pencil and paper ready to halftime and give you a number. If you'd like to be a sponsor as a business or an individual, we're very...
well, give it now, Jess, as we await the clock.
Okay, area code 309-755-7607. Ask for Jess.
Some nice pressure. Clinton gets it off. Backpedaling and fielded this time.
Number 31, Dave Yoder.
He's going the wrong way.
Oh,
and that's the same play we saw. I'll tell you what, that's number 78, Kurt Miller did, and that's the second punt that he's just wrestled Yoder down like that. You think Dave's going to learn next time, or somebody's going to, you know what, I'm sure the coaching staff's saying, somebody get a block on Miller because he's their killer.
It's kind of funny that he would make 2 tackles in a row like that just by the shirt tail.
Well, he's an aggressive guy, and he also a big guy, and if he knows he's coming down there, full bore, he might shoot by the little guy with a quick move, so he's going to grab onto something and hang on.
Yeah, he's 6'2", 225 pounds.
So Bettendorf will have to operate out of their own end zone now. Second quarter action, they lead 7-0. Eisenhower wide left. Tissue in the backfield behind Miller. Shorg ends the up back, the fullback. They're out of an eye. In the stance, coming at you. And it's Shorg. Shifty feet. He does a nice job of just picking his holes. That's what you want out of that first back through. He kind of keyed the Nebraska fullback. Nothing fancy. Run through that initial wave, that arm tackle, and get us 4 or 5 yards, get us moving.
Well, you have a list of the Bettendorf coaches.
Yes.
Go ahead and tell people the coaches.
Well, I said Merv Hobenick, your head coach, of course, longtime assistants Randy Scott, Tom Freeman, Aaron Wiley is over there as well. Kevin Frecking, I mentioned, was out there earlier. Brian Barquist, good group of guys. Was at one of their practice sessions talking. Hand off to Tyler Tissue, another huge hole. He's going to pick up a first down and more. It's kind of funny. You go over there, Merv Hobenick never likes to be interviewed, be it radio, television interviews, and I'll put a microphone or a camera in front of him. He doesn't say much. And as soon as I'm done, Jess, we have a player down for the Bulldogs. It is number 51, Jim Purcell. We'll give you an update on him. Hopefully everything's okay. And I'll have an update on the Merv Hobenick story after we take this break with Bettendorf up 7-0 on TCI Cable Channel 2. Jim Purcell, being helped off the field, number 51, the senior, 5'8", 205. He plays guard for the Bulldogs, and it didn't look all that promising there, Jess.
No, it didn't. Hopefully he'll be back, but I don't think he'll be back tonight.
I was talking about Merv Hobenick before we took that little break there, the injury timeout. If I don't have a microphone or a camera with me, Mervin will shoot, old stories out about football and talk and laugh. And, he's kind of the guy doesn't like being in the media limelight, but he was having some fun. He's been coaching forever. As they hand off to Short, another nice first down. I talked about the Ala Nebraska fullback. Just get a couple positive yards there.
Tackle was made by number 67, Jeff Baker, 6'1", 200-pound senior.
Merv was running through with the linebackers, too. It was kind of funny to see. He doesn't handle a lot of the offense. He lets, Freeman and Scott and those guys handle that. And Merv was getting on those linebackers, though. He may have been coaching for about 38 years, but he's still pushing them around and throwing forearms and telling them how to get up and get their hips into it. No arm tackle. They pitch to Tissue. Nice read. Good job by Miller to draw that end in, and Tissue does a nice job of just getting upfield and moving the chains.
And that looks like
first down.
And that looks like Miller on the tackle again, number 78.
He's a good player for Coach Cox up in Clinton.
Making a pretty good first game impression. It's only a first game, but he's having kind of like an all-conference night so far.
Yeah, these are the type of players, too. It doesn't matter what the team is, Justin. You mentioned to the people up in the Clinton area, we're a little more familiar with doing some of the MAC teams or Western Big Six teams. But we'll see a team that may go a whole season in North or Central, doesn't win a game. But, we do the game. You'll see a kid at linebacker, defensive end, or fullback or something that is just playing hard, and he's always around the ball and in on every tackle. As you see the penalty by Bettendorf, a little movement there. And that's why it's funny. You get a kid, a good example. A couple years ago, we did the Central, and I think they went winless. And, Marcel Howard, he was just a big kid, and they had him playing tight end. Well, he goes up to Iowa State. They redshirt him, move him, slide him inside a tackle. He goes from being about 6'8", 210 to about 6'6", which is funny. Jesse shrunk up there.
He shrunk.
But about 280, and all of a sudden, he got a heck of a prospect and talent in the player. And as we pitch to Tissue, another job by Miller drawing those defensive ends, and Tyler using some speed and some drive power. He's a scrappy little back. I like his style. And he's going to move the chains again.
There was almost a clip there. The defensive man backed off just in time so that he wouldn't touch the guy. And number 22 made the tackle for Matt Staszewski.
He's one of those
6 foot, 185-pound junior.
It's funny, Justin. You'll recall Moline when A.C. Earl, the Iowa and NBA standout, played basketball. Moline Brad Hopkins was more known as his power forward because during football season he played for a winless Moline Maroon football team, and all he does is make about as much money as any offensive lineman, and that's thrown, and Eisenhower just couldn't come up with it. Hopkins makes about as much money as any NFL offensive lineman now.
Right.
Down for the Tennessee Oilers.
So you just never know. You just never know about the talent and the maturity and how a player might
And then the same
be in the right position at a different school.
Same token is don't let the stats lie to you. There may be a kid busting his butt to get 700 yards with no line, and there may be a kid run for 2,000 yards and never gets touched till he's 15 yards downfield. So same token, we've seen a lot of the kids go to smaller schools and can't play. That's Miller, and that's the first back short through. Driving the pile.
He just carried the middle of the Clinton line with him.
7-0 is your score, second quarter action. Bulldogs on the move with the lead on the home turf in their black and gold uniforms.
Now, I know the Clinton coach, but I know him by sight. What's his name?
Cox.
Okay.
Good guy, in fact, Jess, you'll recall.
We've seen him on Thursday nights up at Brady.
Thursday and Saturday games. He was my information man, so to speak. I had a good witty repartee thing going there, in my opinion. Anyway, Miller hit, but there's a flag, and he may have fumbled. This is going to be brought back eventually. A lot of whistles going around and a lot of hankies
on the
field.
I think there's going to be some holding on Bettendorf.
I think big Chris Willie may be getting a little tired.
Well, he's all over the field.
And we'll get the officials' interpretation here. March the Bulldogs back. This game being taped on a Friday, and it was the first week of the MAC. Shown to you on TCI Cable Channel 2. And also, as we said, a huge doubleheader on the AstroTurf at Brady Street Stadium. And what's funny, for years, the pros and cons, you've heard about that. I'm real glad they did it, Jess. I think it's going to improve the field tremendously. Bettendorf comes up in a troublesome situation. Out of the shotgun is Miller. Split receivers. Looking right and airing it out. Oh, wide open. He got right in that zone.
Nice
That's
move.
Munoz. That is Brad Munoz. He may be gone. Look at 45. Knocked out of bounds by the 20, and that's Staniewski, I believe, again. 22 out of. I'll tell you what, Munoz did a nice job of just getting behind the first defensive front, and the other guy was back playing deep, and Miller did a good job fighting him. And it's funny, you see Big 72 I mentioned earlier, Willie go over there and congratulate Munoz, 6'6", hitting 5'6" on the head. Hey, they can all play, Mom. Little guys, big guys, get them out there.
This is why I love high school football. It's the best season of the year for me. I enjoy college. Pros is all right, but for what the high school kids give you and what they have to sacrifice, you can't beat it.
There's a fumble. Laying the pigskin on the pavement, you can't do that. And how about Clinton? I said it earlier. Bend don't break defense, and they did a nice job, and you could tell Shorg is upset at himself.
Robbie Royals, number 35.
He was in there earlier. So Clinton will get it back. Hey, Bettendorf can't put him away just yet here in the first half. It's 7-0.
Okay, now that I look at the program, I remember Robbie Royals last year came in for Clinton late in the season as a freshman, and he's only a sophomore.
Doing a nice job already. We called his name several times.
But I think I thought he was an offensive player myself last year.
No, he was in there at receiver earlier. Right. Warner swings it out there. Staniewski.
Number 31, Dave Yoder on the tackle. He's had a pretty good night already.
Staniewski, I should be saying. Staniewski. My apologies, Stanley. Matt Staniewski, Jr. on a little swing pass. Nice call there by Coach Cox. And Warner swings it out. Paul Horner, their quarterback. And just one setback, it looks like. Staniewski behind him. There's a staggered backfield. Horner looking down, straight down the middle field, and nearly picked off. Intended receiver was Matt Horschelman.
Throw is just a little bit behind.
Good coverage there by the Bulldogs. So Bettendorf's defense has definitely probably been the star of this game so far. Clinton having trouble really moving the chains. We'll break out of the huddle. River Kings trail 7-0 with the ball. Up around 30, 25-yard line, I should say. A little high-rise ball fake. They try the fullback draw, and he may have fumbled it there. He wrestled down by Bettendorf.
I thought he did too, but must have been blown dead or he didn't fumble it. Now answer me this, and I mentioned this in previous games that I've done. The object is not to show the ball to the other team, and they rise up, show them the ball, and
it's trying to bluff the fake that I'm going to roll out and throw because you're trying to set up a draw, obviously a delay handoff, as Clinton will get back to punt.
I mean, every team has that play.
Let's see if Miller tackles Yoder again. Well, it's a fair catch. He's not going to have to, but Yoder makes a fair catch. And Bettendorf will get back out on offense in the second quarter here, leading 7-0. Yeah, what they're trying to do, they're going to pretend like, you see the quarterback roll out in college. You see it in high school, roll out with the ball by the earpiece, high up, ready to throw out in the flat or run themselves. And you're kind of trying to bluff that play. Like, I'm rising up, ready to throw, and then we'll shoot the fullback who you think would just be a lead back or or Phil up there on the line as a blocking any penetration. He just tries to shoot through an opening.
Except that every high school, I guess if you're trying to freeze the defense, like it could be a quick pass, it's pretty obvious that every play is always a run.
Yeah. Oh, look at Miller. A little running room. Nice little stiff arm. Now he's trying to spin inside.
Number 35, Robbie Worrells makes the tackle again.
Well, that's a nice play. A little mixing it up there. Miller rolls.
That was
like
a nice run.
Throw.
That was a real nice run.
Miller gets to play. Munoz to the right. Eisenlauer to the left. He's connected with both of them for big positive yardage on pass completion so far. This one is just a draw, and it's Tissue. He gets a block out in front, makes one guy miss. He could be going straight up the middle. Oh, nice effort. Tyler Tissue scores his second touchdown. Stazuski was trying to bring him down. He does a little pip in there, a little dancing.
It was not only a good play by the offensive line, but Tissue did the job that he had to do by breaking a couple tackles.
He did, and this is a teamwork. That's a game. He did have that initial block, a little delay. He cut through, had a real nice block about 5 yards past the line of scrimmage to spring him, but then he ran right down, right down Main Street. Didn't mess around either, if you notice. Just shortest distance between 2 points, straight line. That's what he did. And the kick for the Bulldogs, Justin Langen. The hold, good. The snap, good. And no good, the kick. 13-zip. Second quarter action, Bettendorf leads it. You're listening or watching, I should say, TCI Cable, Channel 2. Bulldogs lead Clinton by 13, second quarter action. We'll be back. Back here with the Bulldogs leading 13-0. I have to kind of laugh. Nick Walters. Coach Frecky was out there, and Walters was a little late again. So they're going to have to correct that in practice. The kick, and it looks like another touchback. I'll tell you what. Half a foot. Is that Langen popping that in there?
Yes, it is. I believe it is.
He's handling the PATs. He's really getting a leg into it. That's the third one. Clinton will take over trying to get back in this. They trail 13-0 second quarter action at Tuvel Stadium in Bettendorf. Bulldogs with the lead on defense. 44's got that calf wrapped up. Linebacker there for Bettendorf. I believe he's an LB. Wonder how he can move around. A little different start here. Trips right for Coach Cox. And the River Kings trying to air it out. And Stazuski out in front. And that's, nice play by 43, stripping it.
43 was Alex Bribriesco.
Robbie Worrells was the completion. Back out in the flat. And you see Horner kind of slaps him.
There was another player that really put the pressure on them to make them get rid of it, though. I thought it was number 37, Weston Kieschnick.
Horner calling the play, different huddle than you see from the Bettendorf stands. Connell, one of the receivers. Still in the backfield is Robbie Worrells, as you mentioned, a sophomore. And he's deep, about 7 yards back off the line of scrimmage. So they go from trips to coming right at you. There's Worrells, busting through for a couple.
He was impressive late last season when they brought him in as a freshman.
In fact, I do remember that game, yes. Yeah.
Trying to get some of the offensive players here for, well, you have the offensive players.
Yeah, for Clint. Well, I look like 41 just ran in. I was looking for that. I didn't see a 41 on the roster. Clinton coming back up to the line of scrimmage. Nice game by Worrells on that carry after the trip set. Now they go back to more of the staggered eye. Horner looking. They're setting up a screen, middle screen, and that's the second time a defensive lineman. And that was 91 last time, you remember, who
Joe Greenewald
broke up that play. So he gets good pressure, but also reads and recovers very well.
I'll tell you what, he looks bigger than what they list him. They have him at 6 foot 175.
Well, Merv likes to lie, Jess. He wants to get.
I mean, this guy looks like he's 200 pounds at least.
And they're going to mark off a penalty against Bettendorf on that one. And should give Clinton a first down, I think, which they haven't had many.
Well, once again, I want to mention that if you enjoy what you're seeing, we've just brought this up to the Clinton-Fulton area. If you're in Erie, Savannah, Morrison, Prophetstown, give me a call. Area code 309-755-7607 to be a sponsor as a business or as an individual.
Clinton with the ball. The first down up around the 40. Hand off Worrells. Trying to get going, but you can see that defensive end stayed home.
Jordan Tissue made the tackle, and the quarterback was nailed just as he made the handoff.
Well, Bettendorf's defense looking strong in the early going. First half action, leading 13-zip. And I think that was the only first down, Jess, and it was on penalties.
Yeah. Well, Dan, what time's your show on in the morning? Let the people know out there. On KJ.
Here we go. Horner back to pass. Swings it out in the flat to Doug Kroyman, and he doesn't get much.
And a host of Bulldogs make the tackle.
Yeah, it'll be up about 3rd and 9 as the refs come jogging out there. There's Coach Cox and company getting out there. Want to talk to the boys.
Will you be timeout?
We'll take a timeout. 13-0. Bettendorf leads at Clinton with the timeout on TCI Cable Channel 2. Clinton back from their timeout with the ball, 3rd and 10. See if they can pick up a third down the hard way, the old-fashioned way, earning it. Oh, that's nearly picked off.
By number 44, Abe Blair.
Yeah, he's been around. Well, you mentioned just teasing me about KJOC. KJOC Sports Radio, AM 1170 on your dial, the Wild Wild World of Sports, 7 to 9 mornings. Well, sometimes 7:15. We're a little late once in a while because I still do stuff on 97X.
Like it was this morning.
Channel 8, WQAD TV, News Channel 8.
And the new Blitz.
Blitz on Friday night. So you'll probably be sick of me within, about 2 more weeks if you haven't been sick of me already around here. And, of course, helping out Jess and Family Ties Productions and TCI Cable.
Well, I don't know what happened there. The camera guy.
On the punt. That's Jess's nephew.
My nephew. Blame him. Why aren't you on in the afternoons anymore?
Because I work at News Channel 8, as I just mentioned, Jess.
Okay.
Taking a shot at my radio gig. But let's take a shot at the Bettendorf Bulldogs taking over after the punt by Clinton. As we get here late in the first half. Clock winding down, a 13-0 Bettendorf lead.
The band is ready to hit the field. So it must be near halftime.
That's kind of how I surmised it, Jess. Jess Medina, people, he's a sharp one, I'm telling you. So this penalty is going to go in favor of the Bulldogs and give them better field position, get them up around the 30 through to, I call it 32-yard line from here. We'll spot it. And Clinton still has it. My apologies. So we were lost. Clinton's still with it. So penalties their biggest gain. The cameraman shuts off the camera and we get lost, yes. Horner rolling. See, right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice play by 37.
37.
A right-handed quarterback rolling left.
Weston Kieschnick.
That's a tough thing to do. And they'll explode. So they went for it. Clinton decided to go for it on 4th and 10 at about the 30 after another penalty by the Bulldogs. And the Bettendorf defense has definitely been the star of this one thus far. I mean, you've seen Miller and Tissue and some Bulldogs make nice plays, but Bettendorf's defense, rather, has definitely been the star so far.
Well, being this is the first game of the season in the MAC, who are you foreseeing as the front runners for the conference crown this year?
Oh, you're not going to get me in that again. Every year I get in trouble for this one. The first back through is short. He's got a near first down. Nice opening play there. I mentioned earlier, Assumption will be tough. Bettendorf is tough. I'm not sure what Coach Morrissey has out in Pleasant Valley. Muscatine, Coach Teal was a sleeper last year. I don't know what they have come back. I was impressed by Burlington earlier tonight.
Burlington looked good.
Putting Coach Flynn and West at the first game at Brady Street Stadium on the turf. Here come the Bulldogs again. Miller only runs into short that time. He just has to turn around and try to get it up to the line of scrimmage. And that will do it for the first half. So not a great way to end it, but the Bulldogs will take a 13-0 lead into the half on TCI Cable Channel 2. You're watching Family Ties Productions. We'll be back with the second half. Is all the games you're shooting? Set to start the second half. Bettendorf leading 13-0. They'll kick it off to Clinton. We've seen Bettendorf put it in. Justin Langan put it in the end zone a few times. There you see Clinton bobbling it. They'll have a chance to return this one out. That is the sophomore bringing it back out for Clinton. Robbie Worrells, and he's down, holding his knee over there. That's not a good sign. Well, coming off the half, 13-0. We'll take a time out here and wish Robbie well when we come back on TCI Cable Channel 2. Back with Family Ties Productions. Looked like it was just a cramp, as Jess said to me off camera moments ago. So Clinton coming out of a staggered eye is going to do a little option. And tucking it away is their quarterback, Paul Horner. And there's a loose ball. It looks like Clinton recovers. Jess Medina, Dan Birch, Family Ties Productions on TCI Cable Channel 2. Bringing you this game and several games. Thursday games at Brady with some Friday matchups. Bettendorf fans, you'll be seeing the Bulldogs and Blue Devils and Bulldogs and Spartans here in the next few weeks. And Clinton, River Kings, you'd be taking on West. We'll show you that game. And, of course, the Clinton viewing area. Commands to win a big battle next week. We'll be showing for you. The Sabres and Indians. Always a biggie. And things aren't starting off too smoothly here in the second half. Delay a game.
Not the kind of penalty you want to be taking early in the
start the second half, and specifically when you had so much trouble moving the ball in the first half.
Well, it just seems like it's a bad omen when you do something like that. Things just snowball and get worse. With the couple games that we've done already, it's the teams that have the penalties that don't do well.
There's a stagger backfield. They're going to do a little nice block by the quarterback, Horner. Try a reverse and staying at home and bringing it in for the Bulldogs. But a nice job by Horner to hand off and then pick up that backside guy.
J.J. Condon made the initial hit for Bettendorf.
So Clinton's still coming out of there, so to speak, coming out of their own end zone. They get a little breathing room, but pretty deep in their own territory. A little confusion, it looks like, as well. Doug Kryman, wondering if he's in, if he's out, who's bringing in the play. They break the huddle. Nick Lawler, one of the linemen up front. Kurt Miller, who's done a good job on the special teams as well as the defense on the left tackle spot. In motion goes Doug Kryman, the aforementioned Doug Kryman, rolling the other way. And under pressure, picked off.
Intercepted.
And that is the return man, Jess. And he's going to be tackled by Miller.
Dave Yoder.
Oh, it wasn't Miller.
No, it was number 72.
It was Tom Howe. Tom Howe who tackled him. But I thought, oh, he's going to get away from him. So Dave Yoder getting a pick, the Oski. And Bettendorf going for the kill. There you see the quarterback, Mike Miller, tossing out the towel. He's fired up. They'll try and strike early, leading 13-0 at the half. They have an opportunity to add to it. Merv Hobenick, you can see his head at the bottom of your screen. That's about all you can see right now. No, we're not at Brady Street Stadium. It is not AstroTurf. A little grass on this playground.
Evidently it was a penalty.
They were getting the ball set. Bettendorf came out too early. They'll send them back and make sure they are ready, as we were with the camera. So from, what's that, about the 12-yard line, Jess? Handoff, Tissue, cut it back, and that's a nice rip by the Clinton defender, number 61, just laid the leather.
Justin Seitz, 5'9", 165 pounds. But I tell you what, he hit him like a bulldozer.
It'll be second down from, like I said earlier, about the 12, it looks like. Bulldogs up by 2 scores, 13-0. Play action. Miller's going to turn it up, and he found a little bit of a seam. He fumbled. But I think he recovered it. He did a nice job kind of just walking through there. And
nice fake to Shorg. Shorg made like he had the ball, and Miller ran with it.
An option left, and all of a sudden that end just stretched out enough, and they had the inside guys pinned in. Nice blocking from that left side of the Bettendorf O-line. Running into play for the Bulldogs is Jake Thomas. He's a senior, one of the ends that rotates in for Bettendorf. Once you get fine history of the Bulldogs, 5 state titles. As Miller goes under quarterback, Tissue's the deep back. They give the Tissues off the right side, and it looks like he has his 3rd touchdown. Tyler Tissue. It's 19-0. Good job by the offensive line. You see one of them there, Ryan Annell. Uh-oh. We lost a little something there. We come back with Tissue hitting the boys, high-fiving them. And we'll see if the fine kicker with the strong leg, Justin Langen, can make another one good. John Pecora, his holder, Langen. He's 1 for 2, and make it 2 for 3 now. 21-0. Bulldogs lead this one. 3rd quarter action on TCI, Cable Channel 2. Bettendorf lining up, leading by 3 scores, 20-0. Coach Frecky was out there once again, just telling them stay in their lanes, patting them on the head. And I guess the good news is that Nick Walters was out there this time. Langen, another decent kick. Deep in his hands, I'll say decent. He's got a leg. He has a leg, my friends. And
that was about a good 60, 70 yards. Was a kick from 35?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it still might be 40. I have to check. As Clinton takes over, still trying to get on the board, trailing 20-0.
Well, even if it was, he was 8 yards in the end zone. That's almost a 68-yard kick.
1st and 10 from their own 20. Out of an eye backfield, no stagger on this one. Horner's their quarterback. Hands off to Stazuski. Trying to get a few, and that Bulldog defense just gets tighter and tighter and coming down on you. They were really getting after it. I'll give the Bulldogs credit, too. There was some rain delays and some practices, and went to Central's practice and North's practice, and they had to cancel, and the Bulldogs were out there working inside, and then they still, with the dark skies, went outside when the lightning had stopped. So there's a reason the Bulldogs are coming out this fresh. And they may have some size and some talent, some kids getting after it, but most importantly, they got the kids getting after it. Came in fired up for their first game, and came in fired up 3 weeks ago or whatever practices started. That's probably the most important thing. Horner, play action, rolling this way. Looking, and just completely lost it.
He just slipped right out of his hands.
Garl Yepremian there for you old-timers like Jess and I. from the old Dolphins Skins perfect season Super Bowl. Rolling, it just fell off his hand. Nice break for the Bulldogs.
Garrow was one of them guys who used to play. I love football.
Geek. Geek. So Clinton's still in there trying to get something positive out of it. And then I said, as memory here, one first down that was on a penalty, I believe, in the first half. Well, Bettendorf's just doing enough to keep me honest, and Miller and Tissue and a few guys are making plays as the big guys are winning the battle up front. They're coming after Horner. He's throwing deep. Got a man open. It's short. And picked off again by Yoder. There's a whistle. I don't know what the penalty is. We'll find out. He had an open man and put it up a little short. When I say him, I'm referring to Horner, the quarterback.
I think it must be against Clinton because the Clinton guy doesn't look very happy.
Yeah. Nick Lawler and a few guys jogging off, trying to sort this all out at Tuvell Stadium on the turf.
While we are here at Tuvell Stadium, I want to thank Chuck Noling and his staff here at Bettendorf, as usual.
Yeah, Chuck, and you call over there and you deal with Sandy probably just like I do. And just, very nice people and have always been great. And you see Merv coming off a little bit, as well as the coaching staff. Always very accommodating. I want to congratulate Jay Fitzgerald. There you go. Bettendorf's pumped about that. They're saying it was a
pick just like we thought.
Either that or was he back in the end zone? Did he step in the back of the end zone?
No, I think it's going back to the pick.
Okay, we'll see what the call was. They'll spot it there. Well, you feel sorry for Yoder, though. He could have picked up maybe a little more yardage. Jay Fitzgerald and the Bettendorf Bulldogs. Jay, a personal friend of mine, and the Bulldogs state baseball team went to the state championship game and picked up second. So congratulations with Jay, and you have Mark Brooks in the basketball program. Of course, Merv here. The soccer team finished second again. They are always in it.
Bettendorf has a great soccer tradition.
And the women's tennis team, and the coaches, they just do a great job. Almost it seems like every program, if they're down there battling for the state championship, be it swimming, tennis, soccer. The football team's had 5 state titles. The basketball team's been down there. Baseball team in the championship game this past year. So everything's looking good in black and gold here in Bettendorf anyway. Maybe not in Iowa City this year, Jess, but here in Bettendorf.
Yeah, where do they pick in Iowa this year? Anywhere from 4th to 6th?
About a 5th, but middle of the pack in the Big Ten, which is a Big 11 now. They figure, it's Ohio State and Michigan with so many people returning, and Penn State, and it's usually going to be those top 3. And then after that, this is weird though. You hear Wisconsin, and Purdue. A lot of people are not, but Iowa can definitely filter in with those teams, and they're definitely ahead of the Illinois and. Northwestern will still battle with Iowa. They probably put them in that second tier with the Wisconsin, the Northwesterns, and then the Illinois and Indianas and such are bringing up the rear. And Michigan State may be floating in there somewhere as well. I'm not sure if they're back of the pack or.
Well, they're certainly off to a bad start, I can tell you that.
Here come the Bulldogs up the line of scrimmage, and the rest. The Bulldogs' offense is much quicker getting out of the huddle and getting ready than the chain gang. Miller under quarterback. Tissues is up back. They give to the first back through Shorg, and he's going to drag a couple people for a couple of yards. Third quarter action. A couple of picks, a couple of Oskies, a couple of INTs for Yoder and the Bulldogs. And Bettendorf trying to come back at it and a few touchdowns. Tyler Tissue with 3 TDs. He is the I-back, number 6. And they're going to option this side. And look at Miller's going to tuck it away, and he may be guarded. He's getting around the corner. Down towards the 10-yard line.
Number 45 made the tackle.
That would be, as Jess Scurry's in the program.
Johannes Egbers.
Plays both ways. There you see him limping off again, Jess, number 23 for the Clinton Lumber Kings. It looks like you were right, the calf cramping up on him.
River Kings.
Or excuse me, once again, like I said. Oh, I do it every time. They're going to give it to Short. He's going to try to muscle his way. A nice job. Wrestle down inside towards the 5.
I'll tell you what. I guess one of the reasons I do like Short the way he runs is he just reminds you of a little bulldog. Mm-hmm. I mean, he just doesn't have great speed, doesn't have great size, but he'll get you that yardage. And he is a Bulldog.
Yeah, Bettendorf Bulldog to be
Bettendorf
exact.
Bulldog.
There you go. Eisenhower goes wide to the top of your screen. Your tight end, Justin Sifkin. Out left, you'll see Tissue Eye in the backfield. And they're going to option at left side. Miller to Tissue.
Penalty.
He doesn't get in, and there's a hanky. Little flag action. We'll see what the call is. Could have been a crackback kind of a clip on that one move.
That's what my guess is going to be, that it was on the clips or personal foul.
Wow, almost a face mask, or maybe the guy laid Miller out after the pitch. We weren't sure, but
personal foul, Clinton.
you're not going to get much closer. They're at about the 5.5 yard line, 6 yard line, so they'll get it down if it's half the distance to the goal line. We'll see what they do. And they're going to mark it down and put it up inside the 3. So Bulldogs really looking to put a nail in that coffin, already leading 20-0. They're up 13-zip at the half. Miller's going to take a timeout and talk it over with the coaching staff, and we'll take a timeout at Tuvell Stadium. Bulldogs up 20-zip, third quarter on TCI Cable. Coach Freeman out there talking with the offense. That's Tom Freeman, a longtime assistant. Kind of an offensive coordinator if you have that on the high school level. Usually it's head coach, but Tom handles that. It's not really third and goal, which is interesting here, Just it's third and about 3, and they're on the 4, so they've got 8 chances to score if you really think about it. They give the Tissue. Driving the pile back.
He's right at the line, but I don't think he made it.
If he broke the plane, that'll be his 4th touchdown.
You were talking about some of your Thursday and Saturday games. That is probably, as somebody who's in the press area, that's one of the best times to be there with all
and
the
all
coaches.
The other coaches. A Thursday game at Brady Street where it's just 2 of the MAC teams and the other 8 coaches in attendance critiquing scouting, and college coaches are there too because they're off from a Saturday game on a Thursday. And you go and see Ambrose and Augie staff there, and you see Todd Sturdy or Schmalbach over there, and it's just good to get a lot of insight, a lot of talking going on. Yeah, and Jess mentioned not only will there be, the upcoming teams for the next week, they always, you always send somebody, a freshman coach or somebody to shoot or scout, but you actually see the varsity guys there in full, and it's good feedback and a good way to keep up on everybody. Out of the huddle they come, first and goal from, as I mentioned, they had about 8 downs to push it in, and that's exactly what it set up. They got it just about a half yard away and 4 downs to go in, and it'll just be Miller on the quarterback sneak, and I believe he's in there. We'll see. They sort it out. Yes, he is. And big number 72 pumps his fist. That's Chris Willie, the big guy. He should be positive. 26-zip, and we're in the third quarter. Ouch. So I don't know if it'll be a long season, but it's definitely turning into be a long night for the River Kings. And Langen will kick. He's 2 of 3. The hold is good. And for once, he did a little finesse there. So Langen 3 of 4 now. It's 27-zip Bulldogs. We'll be back on TCI Cable Channel 2. $27-0, the Bulldogs lead. Justin Langen will kick off for the Bulldogs after that score. 3 touchdowns for Tyler Tissue and 1 quarterback sneak for Mike Miller to push it on in for a 27-zip lead. Langen 3 of 4 on kickoffs, and he's been about 3 of 4, on PATs, but he's been about 3 of 4 on kickoffs. Put it back in the end zone as well. We'll see what he does here. He has a strong leg. And once again, another touchback. Man, he's tough.
Most of these guys on Bettendorf, a lot of these people play soccer also. In fact, we were discussing that about how maybe Illinois should go to this. People like Dana Just at Alleman are complaining about how soccer's taken from the program.
It's fall soccer, and on the Iowa side, it's spring
soccer.
You know what? And they play baseball, in the summer too. So you get some of the best athletes, from maybe football player, basketball player. You've seen that at Bettendorf for years. Or he's been Davian Banks played,
right.
If you remember, Jeff.
Correct.
Hey, that's one of the first positive pickups on first down. Stazuski, we've seen from Clinton.
And that's one of the things we were talking that maybe might be a good thing for the Illinois side to go to a spring soccer. So a few of especially for the smaller schools who have both them sports,
right?
They're able to.
Maybe it won't affect like Dan McGuire over at Moline, and they have a strong program soccer-wise. But you were exactly right. Some of the smaller schools who are trying to, keep both of them going.
Of course, I think in Iowa they have 3 different kind of
spring soccer.
Yeah,
they do.
For different schools.
2nd and 4. Ooh,
Number 81.
Wow. Just 4 guys tackling him, getting there as the handoff's getting there. And you see
I believe that was Tanner Fox.
Quarterback
made the first contact.
Paul Horner just looking, and Stazuski limps off the field.
Well, we hope you enjoy what you're seeing. We finally brought it up to Clinton-Fulton area, and maybe we can get Dan to do a couple more games.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
In all my free time. Third, they actually lost the yard on that one. 3rd and about 5, though. Option aside, he gets around the corner. That's a good play by Horner. And a first down. Well, I like that. Paul Horner's been hanging in there tough, and wouldn't be denied that time. Turned it inside. The guy widened a little bit from his defensive end position.
He really made a nice move there. He froze the defense and then took it to the inside.
Well, we'll see if Horner can go up top. He's been picked twice. Once you make a positive play first down like that, maybe the line comes up a little bit and you can find an opening and crack a slant or something. Twins right. He looks that way and just
well, he had to lost the handle on that.
Maybe he has small hands, because earlier I called him Garia Premier. Remember when he tried to throw that one time? Or maybe it's a slick ball. Who knows? But he's having trouble gripping it. I know that.
It's probably a slick ball, and I say that because a lot of the games that we've done, the teams are asking for a dry ball.
Wide receiver wide right at the top of your screen. Horner under center. 2 setbacks behind him. They're going to do that just as play.
No fooling there.
The high ball fake.
Didn't fool anybody there. Everybody stayed at home. Whole front line of the Bettendorf defense was there waiting for him. I mean, I'm sure there's a good reason for it.
Well, yeah, like I said, they're trying to bluff that sprint outside.
And every team has this play.
They stagger the backfield a bit.
2 wideouts.
Horner still at quarterback under center. Rolling, has some time out in the flat.
Oh, nice hit.
Yeah, that's a okay play there. 3rd and 9, though, and you're throwing a 1-yard pass.
Rob Lawler made a nice hit on the receiver.
So Clinton, after picking up the first down, for the first time here in the second half, will have to kick it away. And they'll punt it to the Bulldogs. Always interesting to watch. We were talking about it doesn't matter what the team. You look for some players, and we've seen Miller make a couple tackles. You got a guy who can make tackles on special teams. You're a player. Yoder will let that one go. And Miller, one of the guys down there.
There he is. To the 32-yard line.
So Bettendorf will take over. Up 27-0.
Well, I'm going to mention some of the kids who maybe have not gotten the game. After all, they make a sacrifice to be on the team. Stop me when we...
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Jess.
For Clinton, Butch Stremlow, Charlie Graff, Brandon Connell, Paul Horner, Dan Dieterman, Aaron Castle, Brandon Cox, Matt Suzuki, Doug Kroyman, Adam Henkel, Brian Vidal. Go ahead.
And there you see Bettendorf up to the line. Looking to throw Miller. He's got a guy down the right sidelines and overthrows Eisenhower. But that's a nice call. They weren't expecting that at all. Go through it, Justin. That's a good point. Mention some of the kids out there.
Okay, Adam, I believe, Hike, Brian Vidal, Robbie Royals, Jerry Harbron, Jared Connor, Jamie O'Meara, Johannes Egbers, Justin Albrechtson, Robert Harrington, Brian Jones, Dan Shoemake, Justin Seitz, Chris Kalina, Kevin Ostrike.
2nd and 10. Bulldogs at it again. Those are some of the Clinton players. Tissue up the middle, fighting for a few yards. And you've heard a lot of the names from the Bulldogs. Tyler Tissue there. We'll go back to the Clinton roster, and we'll do the same thing. I'll tell you what, Jess, we'll run through all the Bulldog players as well.
Brian Barr, Jeff Baker, Aaron Fry, Brad Miller, Jacob Seath, Tom Howe, Bo Johnson, Nick Brown, Nick Lawler, Ryan Golenvow, James Smith, Kurt Miller, Tim Smith, Matt Horschelman, Lance Reed, Nolan Dieterman.
Back to pass again on 3rd and long, and overthrowing his intended receivers, Miller. So the Bulldogs will probably have to punt this one away now, although there are some flags down on the field. Oh, those are just towels, excuse me. They must be towels from the Bulldogs, the O-lineman or something there.
And the last two names, Tom Kearns and Jason Bartels. And we just want to mention their names because it's been a hot summer.
And they put as much PT or practice time. It is not playing time, but PT in as well as anyone.
That's right. And they've sacrificed to be on this team and made the effort.
Bulldogs will punt it away. Interesting setup. And I like it, actually, that they have on the punts. And they get good luck.
Oh, he should have went for it.
with the guy right in front of him? Come on, Jess. 37 for the Bulldogs will down it. That is Weston Kieschnick. One of the names we haven't mentioned, Brad Munoz had a nice reception. Mike Lillian, Mike Hayden, Mike Miller, the quarterback, Tyler Tissue, running all over the place. Jordan Tissue, his brother on defense, Jake Thomas. We've had Justin Langen in there kicking away, Donnie Coase, Ryan White, TJ Stouffer, J.J. Condon, Matt Drinkle, Troy Dirks, Brian Fritz, Rick Eisenlauer, their wideout, John Pecora, their holder, Rob Lawler, Kyle Pica, Dave Yoder, 2 picks tonight, Weston Kieschnick, who just made that play, and Kurt Loader, just name a few Bulldogs. We'll go through the rest of the roster as Bettendorf takes over on 1st and 10. Clinton, I should say. I was reading the Bettendorf roster, and as Jess Medina, Family Ties Production said, a fumble.
Clinton Bettendorf recovers.
And now the referee's pointing Clinton. We'll see what he does. He says Clinton has it there. So now it's Coach Cox and the Clinton River Kings have seen better days. Scott Flynn, Willie Shorg, the fullback, Alex Bribiesco, the fine linebacker, Abe Blair, he's been on a few plays. Sean Lyons, Mike French, Jim Purcell, one of the big linemen. Zach Lindell, Nick Levson, Ryan Annell, a fine lineman, linebacker for him. Matt Schnell, Rick Tucker, Jason Wenzel, Brad Downs, Brad Allers, and Mike Kelly will continue going through that Bulldog roster. We'll hit the big lineman in a minute. 2nd down, Horner. Rolling right, nice block by number 72 for Clinton to free him, and he stepped up there. Oh, he's got to catch that. I don't mean to pick, and I think that was number 15, Dan Dieterman, but here's Horner scrapping around, and you've got a nice block. That was Tom Howe out there holding off. I believe it was Tom Howe holding off Paul Ainkin. As we switch, 4th quarter then. Quick one. And we'll update you on the score. It's 27-0 in the 4th there on TCI Channel 2. Set to start the 4th quarter, 27-0. The Bulldogs with the lead. They're on defense, right side of your screen. Clinton in the white on the left side of the screen. Trailing and looking to make something happen. Horner back to pass, rolling right, some protection in front of him. Back across the middle and picked up again. That's his 3rd interception, and that's number 15 for the Bulldogs. We just mentioned his name. TJ Stouffer earlier is running through the lineup, and a nice return. Gets it inside the 20 and celebrates. The big linemen, Mike Kelly, Ben Weiss, Mike Frells, Robert Crush, Ryan Ostrand, Josh Kavanaugh, Paul McDermott, Chris Willie, the big man, Ed Snell, Josh Kroger, Derek Turner, Chris Herrera, Matt McDermott, Paul Ainkin, Franklin Searcy, Jake Hansen, Tanner Fox, Lance Dilley, Anthony Duran, Matt Miller, Nick Walters, we mentioned him, Justin Siefkin, John Parisi, Dion Pass, Joe Greenewalt as a handoff, or it's going to be option this way. Miller, not much there. He's tackled inside about the 15, and he almost fumbles, or he does. And Clinton will get it back. Oh, it's turning the wild one. 2 other players we didn't mention, Mike Malum and Will Crawford, also getting it done for the Bulldogs. So Clinton gets it back. A wild start of the 4th quarter. The Bulldogs lead this one 27-zip. And Bettendorf, one of the few mistakes they made tonight there. Had a couple, though. And you see some of the new faces coming in for the Bulldogs. Big number 71 running in there. 31, 40.
71 is Paul McDermott.
Mentioned him just a moment ago. We ran through the entire roster.
31 is Dave Yoder. 55, Matt Schnell. 28, Rob Lawler.
Horner looking again. Oh, and he almost had it was almost the third one to Yoder and fourth INT. And Warner upset at himself, or Horner, I should say, playing and getting a little pat from one of his big linemen, Curtin Miller, who's played a whale of a game. As I said, you can always spot it out. It doesn't matter if a team's down 40-0 or, you know, they're an 0-10 team. There's always one or two or three guys who are going to stand out for you and be every bit as good, if not better, than the guy from the undefeated state championship team.
Well, I think, you know, you look at this game and you try to look at the positives. And for Clinton, it could be that they could be playing the best team in the MAC conference this year, Bettendorf.
And I've seen a lot of teams as they pitch the ball, and it's Stazuski trying to get outside and wrestled out of bounds. Yeah, I remember a couple years ago, West opening night, it was a Thursday, just we did the game, and they played Assumption. And could have been, I think, when Russell would have been a sophomore, and trying to remember some of the names. I know the Pullman kid was in the backfield, I think, and Assumption waxed him like 28-0, pretty good. Well, West turned around, and I think Clips was that quarterback. Like I said, it could have been 2 years ago, 5 years ago. I'm kind of throwing names together. And they had the big shot put track kid was their running back. He was a shot putter discus kid who went down the West, Eric, Western Illinois, I believe. And, you know, West looked pretty bad first opening week of the season, like a 28-0 loss, and then they turned around and you know, ended up making the playoffs and beating them in a rematch. And then you've seen that happen with a lot of teams. They lose that first game, and they can rattle off 8 straight wins in a row.
Right, and that's a great thing about high school football. You don't know from week to week how a team is going to mature and react to losses. And that particular year, Davenport West did very well.
Oh, they just kept peaking at the right time. Coach Paul Flynn had them going. We've seen that one year where you know, Clinton got out of the gates with Coach Cox. I was teasing them. They were 3-0 right out of the gates. North Scott, Randy Schrader's club, got out of the gate 3-0. Yeah. Bettendorf was about 500 that year, but still knocked off Assumption, their rival. And, I mean, that was a year that was just hard to predict. We saw Muscatine go from worst to first last year. You never know. And the MAC's pretty balanced. Swinging it out. Warner completes that one. Keep saying Warner, I'm sorry. Excuse me, Paul Horner.
And that's one of the things, I guess, that Cy Robinson, who does the games in the Quad Cities for us.
Sure, coached at West and Central for years. West and North, I should say.
And we talk about that it's really, really hard to gauge how good somebody in the MAC is because they have nothing to judge it by. They just play each other.
They come straight at you, yeah, right.
It's not like they play somebody in Cedar, that everybody plays somebody from Cedar Rapids or Dubuque.
Or something, right.
Or Iowa City.
Well, it used to be. I mean, you know, they did open up like a Dubuque Wahlert or you know, or one of the. You're right, Cedar Rapids schools or Iowa City AI. But you know, ever since it's been the MAC with Burlington and Clinton and Muscatine and Assumption and Bettendorf and PV and North Scott and you know, everybody kind of bunched together with the Davenport schools and punting out of their own end zone is Clinton, and it's a high punt. Kind of straight up.
Short punt. Oh, it took a nice bounce.
Eisenlauer and Yoder will just jump on it. Dive on it.
But getting back to what I was saying about not being able to judge how good you are, 2 years ago, Pleasant Valley had that outstanding team. And at that particular time, it looked like, you know, Moline and Pleasant Valley were the two best teams. And then Pleasant Valley runs into a buzzsaw in Iowa City, and boy, Iowa City just waxed them.
Well, and I mean, if you watch the Hawks, and in week 1 and Khalil Hill, you know, running back 2 kicks. And,
right. And Khalil Hill was a part of that team.
Part of that Iowa City and the big Alonzo Cunningham redshirt lineman who's playing now too. Miller will pitch and fumbled. A new back in there for Bettendorf, and he wasn't ready for that one. That was Matt Drinkle, number 22. And Miller may take a seat here in a moment as well. 64, Mike Kelly running around out there as we see some new faces in there. Running in the play is Tanner Fox. Eisenlauer go wide right to the top of your screen. Miller under center. Gives to the first back. through, and that's still Shorg at fullback. And he does a nice job. Just moving forward. He shifts over the hole. If the hole's not exactly guard tackle, he shifts tackle end. You can see him just move his feet. And it's never a lot of dancing, just a quick move and up the field.
Blitz.
Coming. Good protection. And a southpaw in there winging it. No, that's a completed pass. I said I was looking for Miller to leave, and he did, and the catch was by Jake Thomas.
And the tackle was by number 80, Matt Horschelman.
Stepping up and completing the pass is Langen in there at QB.
That was picture perfect. That was a good pass.
Justin Langen, so he can kick, he can throw, he can do some mo. And he's in that QB. He stepped up. Nice play. Willie was the big lineman, giving him a little backside protection. Actually, front side protection. The lefty, he was rolling this way. 1st and 10. Langen will hand off and making amends. A little bit better that time around is Matt Drinkle. He's only a sophomore, Jess. So keep an eye on him. So his first hand up, though, he had a little trouble. And it was actually a pitch. And Pecora, the holder, runs in, tells his kicker to play, and then runs wide right. And he wastes no time getting out there in the Eisenhower position, if you will. So the Bettendorf backups are having success as well. The second unit. And that's a big hole up the middle. It's good to see. Your fullback, you're doing all the work. Tyler Tissue has some yards, and they can get up some mop-up duty. Willie Short can pick up some yardage there, help himself out. And he's going to leave, and there's going to be a fullback ticking in for him, and I think it's Mike Hayden comes in. He ran in the play. I'm not sure who came in at fullback. I think Mike's running into play, and it's number 40 in at fullback, Scott Flynn.
Number 22, Matt Stazuski, made the tackle for Burlington, or
Clinton. And the sophomore with the handoff again. He does a nice job, very Shorg-like. Drinkle does, just shifting over, finding the hole, and moving upfield. Hey, I know it's getting late in the game, and you're down a few touchdowns like Clinton is, 4 touchdowns to be exact, and you had some turnovers, you're frustrated. But this second unit of Bettendorf doing a nice job of really moving the ball. Breaking out of the huddle. They still have the line in there, the first team. Levson at center, and Willie's in there at one tackle. So the big guys are bunking out here and getting it done. And that's what's wearing down. Sophomore Drakel, he may get it in. That's a 5 touchdown. Good job. Just moving his feet, making him tough to hit. Not giving that guy anything. You can tell he's a sophomore. He's fired up.
You got to love it.
Easy there. Once or twice, okay. I can love the enthusiasm.
Kind of surprised we didn't see a flag. You know how the referees don't like celebrating. And now he looks like he's doing talking. I hope he's doing it to his own players. But I can tell you, if he ever caused them a penalty, Merv would have a nice little talk with him.
Flynn runs out. Shorg comes in as the up back, the blocking back on the hold. And Langen, the kicker, will go back and line it up. You know what? He's a left-handed thrower, but he's a right-footed kicker. That's what kind of throws me, Jess, if you haven't noticed that, which you haven't. And it's good. Another one. 34-zip Bulldogs, fourth quarter. We'll be back on TCI Cable Channel 2. Langen will kick after his PAT was good. 34-0 on TCI Cable Channel 2. Bettendorf leading Clinton at Tuvell Stadium. Dan Burtz and Jess Medina. Jess letting his nephew run the camera, and he's grabbing a microphone, playing Cy Robinson. And once again, boy, Langen's got a strong leg, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
He has a strong leg.
But Bettendorf has a history of people with
they've usually been a soccer player. Maybe a Freudian slip with sicker player. How about the girl kicker out at North Scott, Jess?
You have a girl kicker out there?
Have a girl kicker, Coach Schrader. She was a soccer player, and they were having trouble kicking woes department, if you will, and they train her out there, kind of talked her into going out, and that'll be interesting to see how she does. North Scott, of course, you'll see the Lancers a few times.
Sure he will.
And still in as Horner at quarterback. Gives to the fullback on the dive, and look at that Bettendorf defense. They've been tough all night.
That was more like a Bulldog swarm there.
Mm-hmm. Pit Bulldog, we're going to have to start calling them.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 first downs so far, if memory serves me correctly, for Clinton. One on a nice play by, Horner's thrown a couple of interceptions, granted, but tucking it up and getting that on a nice play. And other than that, I think there was a penalty, and that's about it. And meanwhile, you just saw in the last drive of the second unit, Bettendorf's had a lot more success moving the ball. Started off okay. Clinton's defense, it was 7-0 after a quarter, 13-0 at the half, but then the turnovers, just like in the NFL, most times when you see a score, you can guarantee if you go to a score in a team like the Saints are leading looks like another turnover there. Or they just stopped them. If the Saints are leading the 49ers, you can guarantee there's been a fumble return or something. And
right.
In high school, it's the same way. You can go from a 10-point game to a 35-0 game, and it's usually because of an interception or a fumble or something like that. So Bulldogs, and speaking of that, get it back. They can put more on the board already with 34.
Let's see if they'll strike quick or just let the young boys take over.
Langan at quarterback.
Oh,
and
there we go.
Huge hole. Catch up to him, and that's the backup fullback who came in. Shork says, hey, I had to work a lot harder for mine. But he gets it down around the 5. And busting through with Scott Flynn. Hey, we saw the backup tailback, Tyler Tissue's back up the sophomore score.
And Paul Homer made the tackle for Clinton.
So Drinkle got one. Let's see if maybe we can get Flynn one.
Well, they're right just
outside
the 5-yard line.
First and goal. Justin Seif can go wide. I think that's Justin out there wide, right? And a flag.
Too much time.
So what a way to open up the MAC. No AstroTurf here at Tuvell Stadium, but the same old, a strong Bettendorf running game and a strong D. They come after you.
Once again, if you'd like to be a sponsor and you're in the DeWitt, Comanche, Clinton, Savannah, Morrison, Fulton, Prophetstown.
Clinton in the suburbs, if you want.
Yes.
The Clinton suburbs. Yeah, like Comanche, Fulton, as you were talking.
In Prophetstown, give me a call.
Oh, that's going to be the fullback again. He got it down to the 5, and now he gets it down back to the 5 after that penalty.
Or if you'd like to discuss which game we're going to do or discuss any game, give me a call. Area code 309-755-7607. It's Family Ties Production. And Dan, once again, your show's on in the morning.
On KJOC, AM 1170 on your sports dial.
And from 9 to 10 on the X.
Yeah, do a little bit of everything. There goes the sophomore again, trying to get in for his second score. Drinkle didn't have much out there.
Boy, you are busy. KJOC in the morning, 97X after that, Channel 8 at night.
Channel 8 on occasion, the Blitz on Friday. And showing no animosity, I will mention, on KJOC, Tom Cornelis does the games for us on Fridays. I do some of the Thursday games, and Dan Pearson, of course, does a good job with the highlight zone. So for all your high school action, if you don't catch it on TCI Cable, catch all the highlights on either the splits or the competition, if you will. Did they get in?
No, they didn't. And that's Tom Cornelis and Johnny Marks.
Doing the games.
Doing the games.
Johnny.
And I had to laugh because Side called Johnny Mize.
Mize?
The other day.
Was that where the joke was coming from?
Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah.
And Johnny Marks loves that being a baseball fan because Johnny Mize was one hell of a hitter.
Yeah, and anyway, Cy called him Johnny Mize, and the booth just broke up the other day. It was kind of funny.
Here comes Bettendorf off the line of scrimmage. They are on the goal line. And maybe they'll just I'd like the quarterback sneak here. Just punch it in. Or they give it to the fullback. And I'm thinking that was Scott Flynn in there who did most of the work to get it down there. So he deserved that probably. Punches it in, and he's as excited as his partner was. The backup backfield in there, and you can relate to that. We've all been the sophomore, the junior comes in, and do you want to get that score? Half the fans have left. People don't even know you had a touchdown late in the year. You say, yeah, I had 3 of them. They were all in the fourth quarter, and you were gone by then. Yeah. You even have to tell your friends. They don't believe you.
Not in Bettendorf. Not in Bettendorf.
That's true. Good point.
They don't leave in Bettendorf. They have great fans in Bettendorf.
And the diehard guys, the old guys who played back at that high school in 1950 or whatever. And another kick. He's missed one tonight, but he's been dead solid and great on kickoffs is Justin Langan. So we're at 41-zip. Ouch. We'll be back on TCI Cable Channel 2.
We can't be too far gone now. It's got to be just about over now, don't you think?
Yeah. 41-0. Bettendorf leads it in the fourth quarter. opening up the MAC, the Mississippi Athletic Conference, in a good way here at Tuvell Stadium. Langen nails another one. Clinton's actually going to get a chance to return this one and bet nicely by the Bulldog defense. Well, we told you Tyler Tishy scored the first 3 touchdowns, a 4-yard run, a 40-yard run straight up the middle, and a 7-yard run. Mike Miller, the starting quarterback. Quarterback sneaked one in from the 1. Matt Drinkle, the sophomore, an 11-yard score. And then Scott Flynn, the backup fullback, with a 1-yard touchdown run. And that's where we sit 41-zip. It was only 7-0, 13-0, and turnovers kind of took their toll. 3 interceptions and 3 fumbles lost. Or 2 fumbles were lost by Clinton. Bettendorf's had a few fumbles as well, so they have not been stellar, have been perfect on this. But 3 INTs definitely hurt Clinton. Dropping back to pass and still throwing the ball. Here's Horner, airing it out there.
He's trying to throw to number 86, who either overthrew him or the 86 wasn't at his spot.
Right. Miller, the starting quarterback for the Bulldogs, he had the 1-yard touchdown run, 3 of 11 with an INT for 88 yards, but he had 2 nice completions. On a high school scheme of things, you're just looking to hit downfield, and he had Munoz on the right side one time, Eisenlauer on the near side, and he had his big completions. Eisenlauer helped set up that first Tyler Tissue run, and it was Munoz's completion that had set up the second one. So the passing game was effective when needed. And I'll tell you what, that defense has been effective, Jess. Look at that. Four black jerseys just enveloping the white jersey running back.
Well, Bettendorf has always been noted for their offense, but winning state titles, you got to have a good defense.
Tyler Tissue, we mentioned 3 touchdowns. He is probably out for good. 120 yards on the night. Shorg, the fullback, a nice solid 12 carries, 46 yards. Miller carried 10 times for 57. He ran a nice option. Miller did a good job. That's why 3 for 11. You have to look at the big picture when you're looking at high school passing stats. As you see, a lot of people running downfield and not much else going on there. Horner's been under heat with the 3 INTs. Trying there. But staying in there, hanging tough pretty much the whole game. Langen, the lefty, aired that one out for 1 completion. So the backup quarterback did okay as well for Bettendorf.
Clinton's going to punt.
Give it back to the Bulldogs. 41-0. And look at the Bulldogs. They're coming after him. Showing no mercy. Punting in front of his own end zone. Lifts it up, gets it out. And on a return, look at that Bulldog go. I can't see his number from here, just as you can see the camera. You're seeing the same picture we are. Number 15, I believe it's that.
Yes, it is.
And that's TJ Stouffer. So Bulldogs come back out here one more time, 41-zip.